Brothers and sisters, is Brother Yusuf Ben Jochannan here? Could you hold for just 1 minute, please? The elder statesman, the greatest living black historian, one of our great scholars, Dr. Yusuf Ben Jochannan. He wanted to say something to all of us, and I would like us to be respectful of our elder and hear what brother has to say. Dr. Ben. This is really today the father of black historical consciousness. This man, more than any, has written the most scholarly works on the history of our struggle. We ought to make his life as comfortable and peaceful, and let him know how much we thank God for the womb that bore him and for the loins out of which this great man came. He wanted to say a word to us, so let us listen.
I regret that my speech isn't as it used to be, but I'm a man that lives in a library instead of an apartment. I have about 35,000 books. I have a few hundred books, engineering books. I don't have mother and father. My people, my father's people, was born in Ethiopia, and they had run out. My mother's people are born in Puerto Rico and don't give a hoot about me. I have looked for a place to put my books, a black place. I've looked in Georgia. Everywhere there were black people supposedly owning universities and colleges. I haven't found none. I looked in the United States. I haven't found any. But I looked and I listened a few days. From the time I went, not that I hadn't heard, but from the time 3 or 4 weeks ago, I went to 135th Street, 125th Street and 5th Avenue.
The Black Theater.
I have been invited many times by Brother Farrakhan to come to Chicago to Father's Day, and I've turned it down. I always wear a hat out of respect. Tonight, I refuse to wear the hat. And I'm going to say this. I'm meeting with my children, and I'm going to tell them the mosque, the 127th Street, can come to the House, send a representative, and so forth. I will give you, any time you come there, my engineering books that I went to college. That's how I started out. And I generally go to Al Sharpton Place. But I'm giving you, now you can take this, my engineering books now. And I'm saying, when I passed away, because I'm going to die, I'm 83 years old, all the other books And they are works that the big college, the black college in Georgia, and many don't have. I have books that goes back to the 16th century. And they belong to you and the nation of black people. You see, I was born in Ethiopia, of an African father of Ethiopia, and a Puerto Rican mother of Carolina in Puerto Rico. Carolina was 100% racist town, and Louisa. And I went back to Puerto Rico many times. I grew up there in the Virgin Islands and everything, where I wasn't wanted. And now I don't want. I know what happened in the island of Puerto Rico when they refused to do certain things. And I am living to the point where I'm seeing it's not going to change. And I'm going to turn this over to you, because none of the people in colleges or museums will be men and speak as you spoke today. So I'm not taking more time, because it's not necessary. But you send your lawyers to my home to make sure that I sign the books that I'm leaving. And all those books that I used to write my books are yours. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, I hope all of us appreciate what we just heard. And I pray to Allah that we will guard this treasure with our lives, because one of the first things the enemy always does when he conquers is either to destroy your libraries or to take the wisdom of your libraries away from you. And I can promise Dr. Ben Jochannan that whatever he gives to us, it is for all of you. When I say all of you, meaning that you will be able to come and read, but you can't take. Thank you, Dr. Ben.